Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from High Branch Brewing Company out of Concord, North Carolina. This beer is called, you probably can't see it on that label, it's really small writing, so I don't know why I put it up there, but this is called Rubus. It just says a raspberry and plum sour. The description on the back says a golden sour brewed with oats and aged 7 months in oak, then fermented it further on raspberries and plums for 2 months. This ale is fruit forward and tart, and it is 5.6 ABV. So I've not had this on tap, and I have not talked to anyone who has had this, so I'm going in completely blind, which I actually generally prefer. I don't want to have any. I don't like to have any preconceived notions about a beer. Wow. I guess one would expect that for something with raspberries. I wonder if... I guess plums have like an orange center, so I don't know if that would really do anything to it. But, I mean, as you can see, it pours a cloudy, very bright, dark pink color. The aroma is just tons of raspberry. I will say plums generally are pretty like weak fruit when it comes to flavor in beer. Like you really have to put a crap ton of it into a beer to really get anything out of it. And if there's other fruits in it, they're just going to dominate. So I mean that's kind of what's happening here. Maybe it might add some complexity. I don't know, but raspberry is generally always going to be stronger than plum. Which is fun because I like raspberries better than plum anyways. So the sometimes you get raspberry beers and they're very like seedy, like that earthy like seed smell taste. This to me is a lot more jammy, like the actual raspberry flesh. It smells a little acidic too. I'm thinking this is going to be fairly tart. There's a little bit of like farty funk underneath too, but that could just be from the raspberries. Sometimes you get that from raspberries. We'll see. Oh wow. That's not nearly as sour as I was expecting it to be, which I think is a good thing. Tons of fresh raspberry, but there is some other. There is some other like dark fruit character, which I'm assuming is from the plum. I will say I'm not getting like a ton of oak or like a ton of complexity from the yeast, but at the same time, like it is also very clean and it does have a little bit of funk, you know, that makes you be able to tell the difference between this and just like a kettle sour with a crap ton of fruit in it. Well, this is loaded with raspberry, and it's funny because when I first drank it, I said this isn't as sour as I was expecting, but it isn't sour like hitting the back of the throat, like acidic sour, but it is very like tart at the front of the mouth. It's making my mouth pucker when I drink it. But it, like I said, it's not very acidic where I think I'm gonna have like heartburn from drinking it. It's really interesting. The other thing about it is the carbonation level is kind of low. But for this type of beer, I actually think that's a good thing, because sometimes with these beers like that are heavily fruited and like pretty tart, just that when you have the high carbonation with the acidity and the tartness, it just like sometimes it's almost just too much to handle, like to drink a decent bit of. But I think it's good that it has lower alcohol, or not alcohol, lower carbonation. It makes it, I think it makes it more drinkable. But when you look at this and you say like, oh, it looks like straight raspberry juice because it's like pink and whatever, like that is really what it is. But it, like I said, it does have a little bit of underlying funk to it. But the fruit is definitely the main driver here. But there's enough funk to it to know that it's not just like a random kettle sour, which is good. And there's some other fruit complexity to it that isn't just raspberry. I don't know that I would particularly pick it out as plum if I didn't know that's what it was. But I would probably say that I might not even know that it was another fruit, but I would say that there's just something else there that's driving the flavor other than the raspberry and the yeast. So there's something to be said about that this actually is like an interesting combination, and it's almost like it is like the sum is greater than, or the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Yeah. I mean, my only complaint is it doesn't have like a little more character from the yeast, but that's, to me that's the separation between like really good and like great and or amazing. I still think it's really good. It's just not, for me, it's not quite to that level to like say holy shit and tell a bunch of people about it. But it is still very good, and I will absolutely buy more of this. And people who like more fruity beers, they would absolutely love this. But this kicks ass compared to any kettle sour. I will say that. And I think this was like $11. Or it might have been more than that. I don't know. But I would spend $11 on this over like a $4 or $5 can of a kettle sour any day. And I hope more people start jumping on the High Branch bandwagon for some of these wild ales that they're doing, because TJ has really been doing a good job with them lately. I was kind of weary about them at first, but now they've done like 4 or 5 pretty good ones in a row. So I'm all on board, and all the other stuff that he's putting out has been really good too. So I hope they just keep churning them out. This is really, really nice. I'll definitely buy this again. So I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.